How can you be too sad when the pool man has come and cleaned the pool so good? Maybe I'll do a little water aerobics. Feel a little better this morning after today. Um, and since early this morning, I took medicine. I'm waking up about 4 o'clock every morning in some type of hip or leg or foot pain. I'll take my set of regimen of medicines that wake me up around that time. Um, which is usually the set I forgot or couldn't get to, before my night ended, which is my late dose of gabapentin, cyclobenzaprine, and melatonin. Um, I usually do all that so that I can wake up later in the day. I do that at 4 so I can wake up later because I first I was self-employed first of all before all of this, and then I did work part-time at Massage Envy, and I'm continuously an independent contractor for Soothe, but um, what I did is, of course, I'm just down to alter the independent contractor with Soothe. Um, I had to shut down my website for my massages. It was $79 a month because I refused to keep paper trails of my soap notes. So because of that, I use a software-based system called Clinic Sense that will book my client's appointments, hold a deposit for the appointment, or hold a card for the cancellation fee if canceled. And then I can also run my payments through the same system, and then the same system also keeps the soap notes. Every appointment I write down, or not write down, but I just hit where it is problems on the body, and then I write something according to that and what's going on and what we'll do next time, things like that. And so that system is $79 a month. I think it went down to $59 a month once I finally told them I was an AMTA member. I think it finally did go down, but still. I wasn't taking clients in the home because I had to move my bedroom down to the old uh, the old section I had set up for my massage. Now I moved back upstairs because it's best for me to try to keep my hips to keep moving if they're moving. And it's not like I need assistance up the stairs. So if someone has to drag me up the stairs, then we'll talk on a different note what I have to do then. But um, now that I'm back upstairs, I'm able to get a little more rest because I'm not right down with all the common area stuff, which drove me insane. Um, so back upstairs, I stayed up there till about 11 o'clock today. Felt amazing, amazing. Just felt amazing, and um, I've been up there a few days, but it just felt amazing this morning of all mornings. I guess because I don't have anything to do today, I don't even have an appointment. So my goal is to do some exercises here, some kettlebell stuff. Um, Also, that's for my sides. I read a lot of articles this morning, which gave me 2 CEU points for my continuing education credit for my massage because I did it through a personal trainer site. Um, a lot of times, people who deal with the body in a more holistic manner. So when I say that, I mean personal trainers, massage therapists, chiropractors, physical therapists. Those people and their white papers and their sites actually are even better than like the regular medical sites. Um, I believe that there are even more diseases, or what do they call it in this thing I was just reading? Even more, they're just dysfunctions. Okay? A dysfunction is not a disorder. Okay? A disorder is more permanent. Okay? So it can be changed, but like a dysfunction just means that it's not functioning appropriately, right? So once you get it functioning appropriately, by strengthening the other muscles around wherever the dysfunction is, um, it will then cure that dysfunction. Not cured for life because things happen, but you can then, you know, work with yourself a little better once you know how to do it. And so what I was looking at was lumbosacral dysfunction. There was another couple of words in there somewhere, but we're just gonna go with that, okay? Because it really moves to what's going on with my hip, okay? If your hip is here, imagine my butt is behind where my hand is, right? So you hit here. When your hip pushes up more anteriorly, then what happens is that your glutes stop working, okay? So if you get it back right, okay, right here, now your glutes are forced to work. But if it anteriorly tilts, you got to realize, like, imagine this part back here behind my thumb is the booty, which looks like a booty, right? So if it's now not working as it should, all the muscles you can imagine in the front of my thumb are now working overtime. And that's kind of what's going on here. It also messes with the portion of the adductus magnus, which is right through, I don't want y'all all in between my legs and stuff, I'm sorry, but like right in between here. You know what adductus magnus is. It's the biggest inner thigh muscle, okay? It comes all up in here, okay? And it's really, really tight in there, okay? Because I believe I have some type of pelvic dysfunction. In a dysfunction, okay, if the nerves in the hip are being affected enough, okay, what'll happen is, so if it's tilt forward, okay, as a matter of fact, let's just use me. So tilt forward, right? My glutes are actually trying to work because of some of the exercises and things that I've done this morning, okay? So you can see mine popping up right there. You see it popping? I just popped it up just so you can see it, okay? That is, and then the other thing is that if the hip doesn't tilt, that way it tilts this way. And then whereas most of you lose all your core function, right? Because you're not using your core. So you want to stabilize your core and keep those glutes tight, okay? So what was happening is I was looking at some things that were explaining a lot of the dysfunction between in here and in here. And it talks about knees bending in. And I'm not going to change my knee position right now just to show you. This is not how normal people stand. You see how much more my knee is over here than it should be over here. Okay? So it's a dysfunction here between this part of my leg and this part. And I know what's going on is that I need to get all the soft tissue work done in the lower limb so that it's talking back to the upper limb. Because what's happening is I believe my lower limb, because I have nerve issues in there because of my screws that's in my leg. So screws that's in my ankle and the rod in my leg, right? So because of that, there's just a lot of chronic stuff going on here, and I need to get rid of some of this tightness here. I have a girl in Virginia that told me a long time ago that if I ever let the scar tissue build up here, I would see so many problems. And I never understood what she was saying because I never experienced getting any soft tissue build up there again until I sprained my ankle. All right, so I never went in there and got all that out because, number one, when I first started touching it, it was actually burning so bad I had to stop. So I did a lot of that work when I was up for 2 hours when I take my medicine. It takes me about 2 hours to go back to sleep, even on the melatonin. And so I'll stretch, I'll do everything, get myself right. So I dig in there, and I'm finding every time I dig in there more and more and more to be broken up. The ankle itself, where the issues were initially, hardly any pain there anymore in the ankle portion, okay? Not any more pain than would be there if you have a nerve issue, okay? So it's not putting me in level 10 pain like when I had to go get a boot, okay? So a lot of what I'm breaking up here actually goes up through the back of the gastrocnemius, the more superficial muscle in your calf, okay? And it's right along the back. It's the big fatty one that most people can't get their boots over. There we go. That's how y'all gonna know. Okay. So it's about keeping that stretched out, okay? And then making sure that the deep muscle, that soleus, the deep portion of the soleus, okay, also gets a hold of as well. And then what's gonna happen is all those muscles that come up here and kind of intermingle together, best way to put it, and then come up here and have something to do with flexion and extension of the knee. This is a piece of work. Let's just put it like this. I'm a piece of work. The injury's a piece of work. And definitely, most definitely, a dysfunction or something that is like so tight that is messing up the nerve bundle, it will cause it to feel like there are severe nerve issues, okay? So I do have the nerve issue in the lower leg and foot. Like, it's going to be there. I have to get it to work with the upper leg. Like, that's what I'm reading. That's what I feel like I'm reading in. And I have to just do this on my own because I'm not going to sit around and, like, not see my grandkids, not see my kids grow up because a man, which the word says, not the fear man, can't tell me what's wrong with me. God made me and he knows all about me. And I made the video yesterday on purpose to show you guys that people go through, like you go through in your mind and you fight yourself all the time. Initial feelings of distress, fight or flight comes up and you do whatever your fight or flight says. That's the way that we normally operate. And if some people go to drinking because they're upset at something, or they go to binge eating because they're upset about something, or they go whatever, I knew that for me, in what I've been learning in counseling and meditation classes and stuff, is I need that second to breathe, to be away from everyone, to be away from every stressor, to say, I need 30 to 45 minutes to an hour to breathe, think, de-stress, cry, get it all out, and be distraught for that minute. Let them feelings ride through you instead of holding them in. Record them like I did if you need to go back to it. Some of the stuff I don't even go back and watch that I put up. But what I want to do is make sure I'm documenting what's real and not just what someone wants to see. The more improved product, or yay, you did this today, or yay, everything isn't fun, games and fun. Like, it's just not. And I want y'all to know the real deal and the real situations and how I feel. I'm sitting here without my feet planted on the floor. Because the planting creates my body trying to tell it what it's supposed to be doing. So it does actually create a little more pain than I really have to be in. But when I don't plant my feet, perfect example of me being real, let me just turn the camera on. So I literally am not doing this. I'm looking, actually, you know what? I'm looking away I'm looking away, and I'm trying to tell it to plant. And finally, it will. At once the muscles that are trying to get it to like go into, what's that thing called? To go into like, it's basically like submission. Once whatever is working to keep it planted, it'll actually stop. But for so long, I didn't know how to stop this, that I would put it under a chair when it would do that. So I'd be like this at a restaurant, right? Just to hold it down so it won't move, right? And what do y'all think that's doing? Please let me know what you're thinking. It's tightening the heck out of that bicep femoris. It cannot move. That bicep femoris is back here. It's a hamstring muscle that goes along that part, right? The most lateral part, right? And by doing this and putting it under a chair, remember, this is my thigh. So this part is like literally contracted like the whole time that I'm doing that. So you know it's always tight. So I'm gonna put it back out and see if it sits, because I was actually using it as a way to stretch those flexors, because when I am like in the bed and just my legs are up straight, my toes will pop and curl and curl and curl. So all of that's tight because my feet are doing this. So all of that, you could just see my hand. It's like using every muscle up top, right? Same thing in the foot. So that's what happens. And the top of the foot was ungodly tight. So I've been working on all that, and I know this is another long one. I appreciate those who actually love me enough to watch this all the way through. I appreciate y'all so much. And I appreciate, those who really, really look out for me, who are like, do you need me to call you? Like, I see that yesterday was a really bad day. And I just appreciate it so much. Thank y'all for following me. I hope it gets better. I hope the channel gets better. And I'll talk to y'all soon.